Well, hello everyone. I'm the co-founder of Rear, and here we have Ya, our founding product manager. To Nicole, maybe give a little self-intro. Like we're super excited to have you here.
My name is Nicole. I work at a company that does sustainability analysis of large buildings, and we usually use Rhino so we can extract the data of the floor plans of this building and then do the sustainability analysis with the certification. And we need to pass this to Rhino because the it's something that the certification requires. This is specifically certification. There is the edgy buildings, that's the name. On AutoCAD, we have our floor plans that we receive from the client. This is the first floor, the second floor, and then third floor, and so on. And then we separate the lines with the type of the wall that we read from the project. And then we draw the outline of the walls. So we have the contour of the floor plan. And we need to read it. It's just architecture work.
Mm.
So this needs to be manual because still there is no AI that can read the project for us. And we have something there is repetition of the floor, and this floor is the one that repeats 18 times. So we just draw them one time so we can multiply and like extrude the wall 18 times so we can have the real length and area of this wall in all the floors of the building, especially if here it's a easy floor plan. Like I said, this one could be north and this one could be south. It's really easy because it's a square. But when we have more complex floor plans, like this one that have a lot of these lines, little lines, in a big building like this one, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8 floors. It takes so much time. So here is more practical because usually we do this on Grasshopper. We have a script where we can put the lines, but I tested with Rear on the last time and it was so much faster than on Grasshopper. And this is what we'll be doing today.
Sure. So the goal is even though your output required for certification is only it's just the area data, right? The square footage of each orientation of the
Yes.
facade. But in terms, like, in order to get that number, we need a lot of tedious and repetitive modeling work in order to extract the number from, right?
Yes.
Cool. So maybe we can, yeah, you can go ahead, just demonstrate how you did this last time. We're also very curious to see.
So let's work with this floor
Mhm.
because it's the one that repeats 18 times.
Sure. Yeah.
We have Rio here. This was a task that was I asked him to do with the file to prepare it for this meeting, but that's with a new task.
Mhm. So the gap detection need is because it's like imported from AutoCAD. Is that the reason? Mm.
Yes, because this is this is something that we do manually, and although AutoCAD have like on snap that it picks the end of the line, there is a lot of errors on this part because, well, we are not always zoom everything so we can close the lines. So they always come to here separated.
I can tell, like, especially if you have multiple wall types in different layers, you cannot just run the join command, right?
Yes.
Because that's gonna bring everything to the same layer. You do want to keep the layer structure of it. So that's a lot of like trimming work for you to do, right?
Yes.
We just wonder, would that be quicker if you just like manually draw everything again than finding the gaps and closing them?
Uh, I don't know. I think it's not because sometimes it happens like we have these gaps and then Grasshopper cannot fix them
Mm.
and we need to come here. But I don't know, it's just something so difficult to do even on Rhino because I always zoom and there is some problem. I don't know why,
Mm.
but
Makes sense. Yay,
no, there
good
is no
Okay,
gaps
good.
found.
Okay, so
news,
that's
kids.
good. Then we can proceed with the next step.
That's great.
Mm-hmm.
So now we can, if there is no gaps, we don't need to close this form. The lines are still separated, but we can ask him now to do the orientation classification. Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'm curious, like for this type of like orientations for each kind of wall, like because in Rhino it's kind of hard to sort of add this kind of metadata into it. I'm curious, like without AI, how would you do that? Would you kind of like name them like manually, or like is there a way to do it in Grasshopper for this type of like orientation and stuff?
I do all on Grasshopper.
Oh, Grasshopper.
Yes, we use the angle
Mm.
like we I did here. We have an angle there is count wait counterclockwise
Yeah.
Mhm.
of the x axis.
Did you come up with the script? Like, were you the
Yes.
one write this? Wow. Wait, how long did that take you?
Well, it took me like a week because we developed this way of doing from zero
Mm.
on our company. So it took us a week to think, wait, how we can do this.
Mhm.
And the same script, it also has the the Windows thing that I was showing to you because it's all on the same script. We need to classify the type of the wall, and we need to classify the orientation, and we need to classify also a type of the window.
Makes sense.
So each of the window, they also need to be classified with the orientation.
Mhm. Mhm.
That's why it's all on the same
Yeah.
script.
I think weird.
Okay, that's Rier's
I
plan.
really like this. This is showing what's it's he thinking, because it's on parts, and then I really like this way of thinking.
Mhm.
So it gives you a hint of its approach, right? I think
Yes.
what it just showed, it's pretty similar to what you described in Grasshopper, like the logic, etc. Yeah, this is what, because you have all these layers that are color coded for material purposes, and now we're doing another color coding with the logic for orientation. So that's why
Yes.
I think one behavior that we intentionally make Rear to do is to every time after it's doing something with your model, it will visually validate if it's doing correctly. So that the whole practice you just saw, is hiding the layers, showing it again, pulling up just the orientation layer. It's just to visually justify for himself like whether it's doing correctly or not. So I hope that makes sense for you. And let's just double check if it's doing correctly.
So I'm just gonna hide this layer so we can have the orientation. And here created Ori,
Mhm. Oh.
east, south, southwest.
Mhm.
But let me test something. There is overlapped
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
lines here.
Oh.
This one is east,
Mm-hmm.
and this one is also east. There
Mm,
is something wrong here.
makes
Okay.
sense.
Yeah.
This is very visually heavy with all the color-coded wall types. like overlapping with the color-coded orientation. Maybe another thing you can do is ask Reader to add the orientation information to individual line segments to the object instead of creating new
Alright.
layers. You can let it give a try. Yeah, like renaming objects is actually something we are trying to pack into a feature very soon. Is you know how in Rhino when you click onto an object, it will show it's a line, it's a surface, it's a poly surface, right? And if you click into the metadata section to see which layer it is, and then on top of the layer, there's the name section that's normally empty, right? Even for the lines we just click into. So what we feel like possible with AI is like we can actually let it rename on the object level the name. So next time we click onto it, it will just, display to you the level of information that you need.
That's really useful.
Yeah, let's try.
Especially with Grasshopper integration, because sometimes when you put like an element into Grasshopper, we can analyze panel, but we don't know how to identify because, well, they are all like really strange names.
Yeah.
So if we could do this here, it would be really useful. Oh, I think now it's everything right.
So, okay.
Yeah, it just inserted the self-correcting process again.
So so when you're kind of developing the whole like script in Grasshopper, so in your team, is there anyone assisting with you who also know coding, who are like working this together with you, or like you're sort of like the one person who needs to like fake everything?
Well, in my team is just me.
Okay.
Just me because no, we are short team. We have only 4 persons.
Oh,
So I'm the only one that can code, and the purpose of the script on Grasshopper was to facilitate the life of the other 3 ones. So it's a script, but they don't have to really interact with anything on Grasshopper because it has a really simple interface, and the things where we need to input the data, they are highlighted. So it's easy to put the data and repeat to a lot of projects because we do this like many times a week, you know. We are working and we have a lot of projects, so it needs to be fast. That's why it's really important that we could develop a script on Rear and we can share with the other persons on the team, so we can repeat everything that we did to a lot of projects in different files, but also with the floors. Wait, oh no, it's just the layers. But if I did this on this floor, I need to do also on this one and that one. It needs to be fast.
Makes sense. Well, we can check if the agent has renamed the line segments. Maybe click
Sure.
onto one of the lines. It will have name with its orientation on it.
I think
Yeah. So you can identify from the two curves if you click on top, hover on top. If their objects overlapping, you can clearly identify which one is named with the orientation and which one's not.
Yeah, and also on the object panel on the right, you can see.
It's everything. It's everything right.
So
One is this one is north. This one is south.
Okay. Yeah.
Sure. I'm just a little confused because it's not the colors that we usually assign to the orientation. So I just gonna ask him to change the colors.
Yeah. Convention.
Yes.
Cool. And how did you decide on all the colors for the wall types? Is it random, but or also you guys have like a legend to match?
Well, this is to it's arbitrary because we have a color scheme when we are doing the documentation for submitting to the auditor of the certification. We have color schemes for each data. So the the type of the walls, they are saturated colors because they need to appear in the same page with the interior wall types, and the interior wall types, they are like pastel tones, so they are made to match each other and, well, just look good on the print. So it's easier if we keep the colors the same in every project. It helps us. So okay, it's done. All right, this one is north, this one is south, this one is east, this one is west. It's great. I now can ask him to extrude so we can have a 3D model, and then we can cross the lines with the type of the wall. This is the best part.
Yeah.
I think it's nice.
Oh my god, that's so nice. Something really funny is that here I think I don't have any tips for it of my language, but when I tried on the floors, inferior floors and intermediate floor, the layers, they were named in Portuguese. And even I was talking to him in English, when he created the layers, it was all in Portuguese. And I found it really impressive because it was not something that I said to him, but I think from the name of the layers on the file and maybe my bad English, he was assuming, wait, this girl is very Brazilian, so I just gonna make her life easier.
Yes, Ria is not a Brazilian girl. Yeah, that's how we make it like I think all agents are multilingual, but it will naturally adapt to your naming conventions for sure. Unless you ask it explicitly saying like change all their names to English.
Yeah, this is really nice.
Cool.
Well, there it is. This is our building.
Yay. So this is how you normally like, do the for the certificate, that's how you normally do, right? And then extract the data from it.
Yes.
Nice.
And this thing here, it's also an image that we can attach to the documentation.
Oh, let's see if we can get the numbers.
Okay.
Oh. Does it look right to you?
Yes.
Nice.
This one, and this one, and this one. They're gonna be type 2. Now we have two different type of this one here is the, wait, I don't remember. It's the east, right? It's not gonna be any type 2, so we can check if it's right.
Now it's extruding all the lines that you classified in the layer. Yeah, I think the agent just realized because the prompt we give is to extrude the lines for these two material types, which includes lines in other floor plans as well. Probably not.
Yes.
It also did.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's really smart because I was just thinking about the orientation lines, not the type of the wall lines. But now it didn't even need to extrude because the
the information we
it has
needed.
the information in the name.
Yeah, this is like one kind of not pain point, but one thing we found about Rhino is we tend to feed in a lot of metadata just through layers, how we categorize things, like color code things, also apply materials, it's all through the layering structure. But sometimes if let's say we want to compound this wall type material info with the orientation info, as we just run into a issue with the lines overlapping with each other, but put into different layers and different colors, but they basically represent the same line, right? So a good
Yes.
practice, it might be to add, another category or another layer of metadata on top, which is definitely using the name section for this.
Yes, that's really smart.
So now
Wait,
we
let
know.
me just step here. We have 6,083, and here we have, yeah, it's the same area.
Yeah, it's the same area, so
Now,
we did it correctly.
North type 1. This one is North. We have more of type 2 area here. And here is East. We don't have any type 2. Yes, everything seems right.
Yay.
It's really impressive.
So that's exactly the data you need, right?
Yes.
See, another way is like, unless you need to submit the 3D like screenshot to your certificate application, otherwise you don't even, like with AI, you don't even need to ask it to extrude it for you. It can just calculate based on the height.
Yeah, just for visual, I could ask him to extrude for me
Yeah.
also, and it's an easy task, but I don't need to because this is the information that I'm gonna put in the official calculator, so this is everything that I need.
Cool. Yeah, thanks so much, Nicole. I think this is really a meaningful session just to showcase how you actually use this for a daily work, right? This is something that you mentioned you do practically on a daily basis. And yeah, we will exploring this more with you and also other power users as well. So yeah, thanks so much for your time.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing.
Oh, thank you for inviting me. I'm really happy to collaborate.
Cool. Yeah, we will do this more afterwards.
Okay.
Cool.